Stay there. That's cool, isn't it? Let me sit up a minute. Detroit, wait. Detroit, baby. There we go. Let's stick you there. I'll get a few of you in again. We'll wait until then. We'll have a little chit chat. Yo, Brian, how are you? Sorry, mate. I just tried to go live on my other one, but it's not working on my laptop for some reason. It's telling me that I'm still live on there as well, which is bullshit. Delete. Morning. How are we? Back again, Elijah. So, I'm very good, thank you, Ben. How are you, mate? Anthony? I haven't seen the actual documentary yet. Some of you might have, but apparently Panorama have done a documentary on Evri and how terrible they are, and it's uncovering things. And I've just had a message come through on eBay immediately. I'm not even joking. The message is like 4 paragraphs long. That's not a joke. I'm going to do a video on it, obviously. But are we now, has Panorama, as shitty and as corrupt as they are, has Panorama just nailed Evri? I haven't seen the documentary yet, but Panorama don't tend to make anybody look good in a certain light, do they? That's not what pays the bills. And Evri are terrible. It's not hard to make them look bad, but they're now obviously the public consensus. The message I just got, which is about 6 paragraphs long, the guy was saying, I haven't had my parcel, and especially after seeing the Panorama documentary, I often wonder why eBay even allows these couriers to work for them, etc., etc. I feel sorry for the seller, me, obviously, not realising he's talking to me directly. So I refunded him whatever. I said, I'll chase it up. And he sent me another message back, again, 4 or 5 paragraphs long, saying the same sort of thing. Now, are we going to have this where customers are now going to, because it's public, it's in the forefront again, every time they get something with Evri, the chances out there, chance it. Oh, it came with Evri, just dropped on my doorstep, disappeared. It says delivered, but it's not. What are we thinking? Is it nailed Evri? Is it going to cause us issues? How do we react to it? Or am I just being paranoid? But I don't think we are. There's patterns, isn't there? When all this sort of stuff happens, people take advantage, Now then, lads. Hello again. It's working. Yeah, every time I do it on my laptop, it doesn't work, so I'm not going to bother on there for a minute. Daz is in. Was very little in the documentary that we didn't already know, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, we already know this, don't we? But is that because we're part of the industry? Whereas customers probably are not, unless they've had a bad experience, might not be fully into it. And now Panorama's just gone, don't worry, if you get a parcel from Evri, you can just say it didn't arrive or say it's broken or something. Yeah, exactly that. Zardman. I love Evri. I'm a big proponent of them. For every 1,000 I send out, I might have an issue which is to do with them with lot 5. That's good percentages, that is. I haven't watched it, but my neighbour just knocked and asked if I took a package in for them because Evri said left with neighbour. I hadn't. I would never use Evri. They are shocking. Fair. It's all BS. What's BS? What they're talking about, or how they run, or whatever? Because Panorama are toss bags anyway, aren't they? Should I vape on stream or not? Or will kick me off like Kick? Probably kick me off like Kick. Moaning and ranting that we use Evri, except out of 3 couriers we offer, they chose it. Yeah, that sort of thing. It's like, what are you giving me grief for using a company that is out there? It's not like they speak about, when they say things like, how dare you use that, like we're using, what's political at the moment? If we were using, I don't know how to describe it, like, how dare you use Evri, why are you using Evri, don't you know they're... If we wrapped our parcels in the rubber that the dinghies were made of. How dare you? Don't you know they're supporting this, they're supporting that? Or whatever it is at the moment. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you don't get to tell me what couriers I use. You can request, and if I've got the option, I might think about it. But regarding, like, how dare you, you shouldn't be using... What are you talking about? What ketchup do you use, mate? Huh? Daddy's? Daddy's ketchup, how dare you? Tangent, I'm so sorry. I'm going to email you, would like to buy 2 items from you. Okay, Ben, no dramas, mate. The real issue is their treatment of employees. Is that what it is? Is that what's on there? I'm going to watch it. Well, I don't have BBC iPlayer. I bet somebody would have done it somewhere, wouldn't they? Somebody would have done it somewhere. Hello, Ricky. How are you, Shed? Haven't had any real issues with Evri, but people want a reliable, top-rate delivery service. They're going to have to pay for it to be overhauled. Yeah. But it's like I say, in the grand scheme of things, they are a massive, massive, massive delivery company. You got to think, they are contracted with people like Boohoo, Shein, Temu, along with many others that I'm not thinking about, along with all of us lot, along with personal packages. Like, they are massive. So you can imagine there's been some corners cut and some, like taking the piss out of their staff and stuff, making it. I'm gonna find a way to watch it. Anyone know where I can watch it without BBC? They are better than they used to be, that's for sure. I've worked for Evri in the past and can shed some light. The pay is horrendous, and couriers can get away with theft because there is a system in because there isn't a system in place for Evri to maintain it. Of course, and that's the thing. We've known this for a long time. I signed up to be an Evri driver 3 months ago. I was going to do something on it, and they accepted my application immediately. I get emails every week saying, as an Evri team, you get perks for this, but I need to go to their hub near me and do a training day. And then that's it. I'm just a man in my car with all of your parcels. I'm not that kind of person. My point is, there's people that are, and they then become alone in their own vehicle where they can drive somewhere and have access to all your parcels. Do you see what I mean? It's like it's a weird one. It's the same with most people, but these people, I sat on my sofa and applied and was told to come in for a 3-hour training session, and then I'll go on my first run for my route a few days later. There's no vetting, there's no CV, there's no application, there's no checking and reject. I applied to be a Royal Mail delivery postman 8 years ago, maybe 11 years ago. Why not, 2025? 11 years ago. I was rejected. I didn't think I was a suitable fit. Evri, from my sofa, accepted me. So yeah, I get that, and I don't really see how there is anything in place to protect theft. I don't see how there's no vetting of people for a start, which is a nice barrier. Yeah. One of the biggest takeaways for me was how the packet rate affected deliveries pay. Evri literally passed the loss to their staff. Yeah, I've heard that as well, which is why you get a lot of from what I know, delivery drivers, if you send it as a packet or whatever, but it comes as it's actually like if you send it as a 1 kilo, they get paid the price of them delivering a 1 kilo parcel. But if they can feel it and they just know it's like a 2 kilo or it's missed the thing and they just know they're delivering a 2 and getting paid for a 1, they get shitty about it. And To a degree, I don't blame them, but also, I don't know, man, it's a strange one, isn't it? After the Tommy Robinson, I missed it. After the Tommy Robinson explosion Panorama, I take anything they produce with a pinch of salt. Yeah, Panorama are trash, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, Panorama documentaries, BBC documentaries, Channel 4 documentaries, they all seem to be like a lot of hit pieces. I don't trust anything they say, but it's good viewing. It gives you, as long as you've got a brain and you can just take away key elements of these things, instead of watching the documentary or watching the news and going, that's what's happening. Look at what they're not saying, or just, I just like, it's like a nice insight, isn't it? Yeah, more than a pinch of salt with them lot. I am missing the car boots, Gary, mate. 1,000,000,000%. I delivered with a car and would only get one route a day. Multiple couriers turn up in a van and take 3 to 4 routes with 60 parcels in each. So I guess your gripe or your concern there is vehicular hindrance. If you had a bigger van, you could do more or something. Yeah. I use Royal Mail purely because 10-minute walk nearest Evri is 6 miles. And Rich, that's why I use Evri. It's so quick and easy to where I am. But I also have the option of Royal Mail now there. But with Evri, with most things, as long as it's under 120 centimetres and under a kilo, I can send weird long parcels and stuff as a small parcel, or whatever it is for Evri. Anything else like outside of Evri, if I sent a 99 centimetre golf putter, for example, I've got a parcel force it. I think Yoda might actually be taking things like that now as well. Yeah, that's why I like Evri. But what I in general, how are you, Zach? But for all the shit Panorama threw at Evri, a lot of it was indefensible. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm going to watch it. Okay. I'll go to the mother-in-law's and watch it. She's got iPlayer. Think Evri quality is just not the same as Royal Mail. If you see them lobbing parcels in the back of the van when they're collecting them, and then see the parcels they do leave outside in the rain, it's not good. And I agree. A lot of people are, when I spoke to my Evri courier, they are made to load their cars from trolleys outside. Whereas obviously everything with Royal Mail is done under roofs and stuff at least. It's just done properly, isn't it? Yeah. Next to the pub. I had multiple parcels a day, which would be multi-kilos heavy. Let me start that again. I had multiple parcels a day, which would be multiple kilos heavy, which meant I would get the max parcel rate, which is £1 a parcel, but then they would put it through as 30p. Yeah. Yeah. Is that what I was just talking about? Is that how I explained it? The police ashtray and the pen. Yes, sir. I'll take a look in a minute. It got to the point where my depot manager would ring me daily asking me to drive and pick up for an enhanced rate. If you live a dodgy area, they go missing. And there is that as well. It all depends on where you're sending them to as well. Because, dodgy areas, as John says, depending on what that means, you do get certain areas. My courier, my Evri driver is fantastic. He will climb the roof of my house to hide it in an old chimney stack if I had one, if I needed to keep it safe. Fantastic. But I know there's somewhere, any opportunity. It's just the way people are, isn't it? Some people are top notch. Some people see an opportunity and pounce on it. No morals, whatever. Watched a documentary on Amazon. They didn't even interview the guy. He was working with them the next day. And yeah, I think I might have seen that one, to be fair. I can tell you how they can steal parcels. Basically, if you aren't on the same route every day, you wouldn't get a manifest. There you go. See? AI Ricky video in Evri uniform. No, I was going to literally deliver for Evri. You are responsible for scanning all the parcels in to deliver. So if you don't scan in 5 parcels, the system doesn't know, because you're essentially creating your own manifest. Yeah, so if you're given 100 parcels and you scan them all in for delivery, but you leave out 10, knowing full well that those 10 you can just have a little peek inside and see what they are, it's missing. It's done. It's painful and shameful. I wonder if I can put this arrow onto my phone. No. It would be on Evri's end, but would just mark it as missed and not investigate, because it costs more money to investigate than just pay for the loss. Yeah. John, why did you delete that video in flat cap? Haven't laughed at something like that. I mean, that was something else, wasn't it, John? Totally. Some couriers turn up in rented vans. They rent a van for a day and can make 4 to 5 times the price of renting the van in deliveries. That is quite clever, you know. Hats off. Got to say, I don't think the Panorama program gave a deep dive into the real issues. eBay and Vinted misbanned parcels. I think, yeah, you've got to also imagine you've got a lot of, let's say, for example, with Vinted, when you list your item for sale, you've got small, medium or large. Small fit for a large letter or large envelope, medium fit into a shoebox, large into a moving box. Let's say you've got Dave. Dave's never sold on Vinted and stuff. He doesn't know too much about stuff like that. And he sells a pair of flat shoes. Not big trainers, but flat shoes. And he's like, yeah, I'll fit into a large envelope. And just wraps them in a carry bag, whatever. As far as I'm aware, that becomes a small packet, a small parcel. Yet, on the banding, on the barcode, and all the digital information which gets scanned and then gets told what the drivers are getting paid to deliver that parcel, it's not. They're getting paid for a large letter or postable, but actually, it's a small parcel. And how many times does that happen? You know, how many times does Dave then go and sell a pair of Timberland boots, steel toe cap, so it knocks it over the 1 kilogram mark, and he sends it as, will fit in a shoebox, 1 kilo. You know, these people have still got to deliver it, but their wages for the day are not what they should be, because they're delivering parcels which are misbanded, and all of that information is in the barcode, so it's all digitally comes up immediately. Doesn't matter what it looks like or how big the parcel is. If the parcel says it's 0.5, but it's actually 1.1, but it's still a small parcel, fits through the system all right, it needs to go out still. So somebody's going to get paid 20p to deliver a 70p parcel or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I get the frustration there. I work for Evri. I do a village route. Oh, nice one, Ben. I use raw mail because they will come pick it from my address. Again, if you are willing to have that, I've had it where I know people that are doing very well in this business actually have raw mail come to drop off, to collect. And sometimes they miss the collection or they don't come, and it knocks the dispatch time over, and they start getting late defects and stuff on their accounts. I try to avoid sellers that use Evri just because they use them. I've had so many parcels just disappear where lazy sod has just dumped it in the whole tower block parcel. I mean, again, that's a thing for you there. So your personal circumstance is you live in a tower block. So you have even more chance of theft or missing items. I mean, it's a bit dumb just to leave it in like the entryway of a tower block as well. But because of that, you know, in their minds, they're just, I'm delivering to this address. This is the address. This is where the post is. Boom, I've done my bit. See you later. They can't be trekking up and downstairs all the time, I suppose. But then, should you be delivering for Evri if you can't be asked to trek upstairs? I don't know. Yeah, because you shouldn't be penalised just for living in a flat apartment. But yeah, my point is there, with you choose not to use them because of your personal circle. I live on a close, and I've got a driveway which separates the road from my house. So 9 times out of 10, if a parcel gets left somewhere, it's like hidden away on my land somewhere. People don't come wandering up the driveway, and they're not just walking past on the pathway where it's in hand. Yeah, I get it, mate. I do get it. Yeah. Yeah, Raw Mail are a bit fussy with parcel sizes. Evri is quite easy, but I can send Vinted stuff on Raw Mail lockers, but only becomes a problem where they don't fit. Yeah. They also tell you to sort them on the floor. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that's another one I've seen. You see, the depot is not very good and dirty and damaged items. I can imagine. I went to school with Ricky. He used to shove rubbers up his bum. Brilliant. Hey, you. How are you, Cal? Back again. What happened to vaping? Not vaping. So I started smoking when I was in Spain. I had those skinny cigarettes. I came back and I was like, I'm only going to smoke them over there. Because when I come back, obviously I wasn't smoking at that point. And I thought I can only get those cigarettes there. Came back to the UK, saw those little skinny cigarette butts outside the garage, and I was like, I'm going to ask him, do you sell those? He was like, yep. I thought, oh shit, they're called Vogue or something. So then I smoked them for 6 weeks, and then I thought, I can't keep doing that. It's 20 quid a packet, I'm doing a packet a day. So I bought some tobacco instead, did 2 pouches of that, and thought, what am I smoking again for? I need to go back onto the vape and then quit the vape again, so here we are. I've got a spare wheel bin. Yeah, fair. Not a bad idea, that. Wheelie bin. I've even had a photo from Evri saying delivered to a neighbour. He was in his van and gave it to some random sat on the wall outside the block. Fuck. Mental. I'm gonna hop off and list some stuff, etc. Thanks for the videos. I enjoy watching them. Look forward to what is coming in the new year. And hope you have a great Christmas. Cheers, Tom. Appreciate that, mate. Evri saw a gap in the market. Raw Mail was being run badly and being kept up with market rates and not being kept up with market rates. Raw Mail have created a situation where Evri can put a cheap as model. People got, yeah, exactly that, exactly, Ricky. My bundles on Vinted are sometimes overweight. The simple delivery parcel size cock up for private sellers. Yeah, so they were getting all over the place. Raw Mail are catching up with modern times. They are. Merry Christmas, Beanie. How are you, Beano? I do have a great story, actually. Basically, you're supposed to be listing some stuff, Thomas. Basically, it was shitting down with rain. I've never heard that one before. So outside the depot, the delivery driver decided to leave a pallet of Hello Fresh parcels outside. That's fair, though. Keeps it nice and fresh. They will go all soggy and the depot manager turns around and tells everyone just to take the... Oh, fair. Oh, fair enough. I mean, maybe he knew that would happen. I have many parcels left outside my apartment door in Stockholm and never had any stolen as of yet. Slight unfortunate that I live on the top floor. Most old geezers live in this building. Well, welcome from Stockholm. Yeah, I mean, also you get a lot of countries that, you know, the thieving mentality is just a lot lower than other places. You know, a lot of countries have just decent morals. Merry Christmas, Ricky. Merry Christmas to you too. I do lots of eBay postage. They sort raw mail. I ticked to use very few problems and hundreds of sales. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I've had thousands of sales of Evri and I've had very few problems. Obviously, you just accept that some of them are the issue, but this email, I'm not even joking. I'm on my phone, I'll do a video on it. The messages are very long from this customer. Shh, Tom says shush. The rain is from the heavy sprays that last week. Didn't even report it back to head office. No, I bet they didn't. Just had an Evri delivery in his top bloke, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine, mate. I can imagine they're much more honest. Like, here it's just... We have a culture of... Again, it's a culture. Not everyone. But of, if you can get away with it, yeah, go on then. It's a shame, you know, people used to be embarrassed to be nicking or embarrassed to be seen to be up to no good. Now, I have a romantic relationship feeling with like the old school skullduggery, old school crime, you know, pavement robberies and just a proper planning of the old geezers. Brinks mat, all that kind of stuff. I've got a love for that culture of criminality. But this kind of culture we have here, where if you're walking in a crowd of people and you see a £20 note sticking out of some old bird's pocket, you know you can grab that, you'll grab it. You won't just go, excuse me, darling, you got £20 sticking out your pocket. People will nick it. You walk past a house and there's some parcels that are very accessible and nobody's around. You know you've got every opportunity to nick them. People do. Whereas back in them days, you'd be mortified to even put yourself in that position. Number one, because you wouldn't want to do it. But even if you did want to do it, you'd be mortified because getting caught, forget about the criminality side of it, the fact that you'd be known for nicking off people's doorsteps and stuff, mental. But it happens, nobody cares anymore. And look at the culture of shoplifting now. The culture of shoplifting is mental. You know, people are in their shops and they have to just stand back and watch them do it and just let them walk out the door. Crazy, isn't it? Let's get some messages here. Yeah, like you, I have thousands of sales with Evri with small problems. You just got to know what you're getting for the odd pop. Yeah, exactly. It's ratios, isn't it? Merry Christmas. Keep up the good work. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm off. I didn't catch you before Christmas. I hope you, Ed and Em, enjoys have a beautiful time and a happy birthday from now till then, Dad. Cheers, Father. Appreciate that, mate. And you too, Rich. Wife just started this week with Evri due to unforeseen circumstances with her last job. The map they use does not map the route properly. She could visit the same street 10 different times. Yeah, that'd be a night. Imagine delivering here, then going out to somewhere else because your map tells you to, then realising you have to come back again. I hope she gets on well with it. Hello, Peter. I nick chips off people's plates when they're distracted. There's nothing wrong with that, Stevie. That's fine. Like, chip warfare is fine. But can you nick one off their plate, dip it in their dip, and then get away with it? Let me know on that one. Having to spend half an hour resorting everything properly. I'm looking down at a small screen here, by the way. Obviously eats into her hourly rate. The smack rats don't care what people think. They would steal from their nanas. Yeah, exactly. The little smack rats. They're like a prime example, aren't they? Like smackhead, crackheads, whatever. Homeless, you know, if you're homeless and you're walking down the street. Now, you can be homeless and have morals, but a lot of the times homeless are coincided with drugs, and drugs will take your morals. How often, if you're homeless and you're walking down the street and you see a parcel, you've got nothing to lose. You're probably going to nick it, ain't you? You are, because everybody's decided to leave it. It's on the doorstep. Because a lot of houses, you have to remember, I know I'm in a different circumstance. My house is back from the road, but a lot of houses are just on the road. Yeah. Lol. Go on, get it done. Have a dip. Mr. Weaver. Crazy shoplifting. See them at the car boots with hundreds of Toblerones and washing powders. The thing is, Carl, I know what you're saying there, and obviously it does happen, but a lot of, if you get speaking to some of these, and obviously don't be like, oh, you're naive. No, I know the ones that are selling stolen goods. There are people out there that do bulk buy and do have other things where, let's say, for example, a shop's closed or something's happened. There are not every store selling multiples of dishwashing tablets, coffee and liquids. Not every single one of them are shoplifted. A lot are, but not every single one. Mr. Weaver, how are you? Where's my parcel, Ricky? What parcel? Oh yeah, it should be on its way. It's with Evri. People lived in a smaller community so everyone knew everyone. Yeah, that's half the reason for the old school ways. Of course, I get that. But even still, why worry about the people's jobs who are now impacted? Instead of addressing the problems that Evri have in their culture, they'll act like they solved it with sackings. Yeah, I mean, the hiring process with Evri, like I mentioned, I've done it. I was hired from my settee within 25 minutes of filling a form out. All I had to do was go for my induction. That's it. And the induction wasn't to check to see if I was eligible. The induction was to show me how to do it, and then I'll be out on my first round. Mental. Oh, I just realised that was the retrograde. How are you? Go check out the retrograde, you lot. Fantastic local charity with a zazz, a bit of zazz. I can pay today. Can you please post on the 5th of January? I'm off on holiday tomorrow. Thing is, I can't check anything because I'm on my phone here, Ben. I'll be off this live in a minute. I need to go get ready for Ada. Ricky, what is your main method of obtaining stock this time of year when car boots aren't running? So I hold loads back during the car boot season. As of now, so it's took me. So I haven't been to a car boot since what, September? I imagine. Have a look. See, on my last video, I was with a car boot. That's how I know when I last went. And I went to one in November, but I hadn't been to any for a long time before that or after that. So that I started dying down around September, October. I'll hold stuff back. I'm only just starting to run dry on my stock that I've held back. I've got a Connect, I guess, which I've just started using, and I'm going to trial and see how that gets on. Hopefully that's decent and it will see me through till the next boot sale seasons, but also charity shops as well, yeah. Look out for your local Facebook pages for jumble sales and stuff. This time last year, we were moaning about Yodel not employing enough people and parcels not arriving. Just, we all like a good moan. Yeah, fair. I forgot about that. If address contains word flat, farm, cottage, or there is no number, it is actually cheaper to pay up for raw mail. Interesting, I'll note that. I work in a second-hand shop in Reading, and the amount of smackheads that come in here. That shop you work in, is it for one-handed men, Ian? Get to the second-hand shop? Forget it. Surely having a lockable parcel box at the front of people's properties is going to become essential, given how many shop online now. Or maybe just a big old letterbox. I mean, maybe. It is 43, can you do 35? Email me. I don't really know, sir. I will be getting off of this in a minute, Ben, and I'll have a look at it all for you, chap. In every business, there are good people and dodgy people, but always the bad is highlighted, never the good. Being a YouTuber, you know, drama gets the views. Neg gets the views. Same with everything, though. People love a good drama. People love a good neg. You know? The thing is, out of 1,000 people doing good, let's say 5 are doing bad, it's easier to highlight the 5 that are bad than it is to highlight the other 995 who might well be getting internal recognition for their great rewards and their great efforts. And they might be getting that recognition, but whether it makes it publicly or not, it needs to be outstanding, because thankfully there is still a majority good in everything that there is. Like businesses and stuff, the majority are good. There's a small minority which are not, and it's easier to highlight a minority problem than it is to highlight a majority people just doing their job like they should be. Do you know what I mean? My job is to, okay, let's not take mine. Let's say, I don't know, a mechanic. Actually, no, to be fair, I always give them a tip and stuff. I don't know, my Asda. No. Like a retail shop. Every time they're finished being on the tills all day, what do they want? A pat on the back for doing their job? How about if they stayed later than they needed to or should have done, or they got involved in helping a customer, which is above and beyond? Yeah, give them recognition, man. Recognise those people. But if you apply for a job where your job is to sort bottles into a certain size in a warehouse so the next phase of the machinery can fill it with sauce, and you do your job correctly, you don't need any more recognition. You've done it. You've done your job. So when something bad happens, it's easy to go boom and highlight that, because of the minority-majority thing. Cheers for that, mate. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, mate. Magpie Treasures, how are you? Hope you're well. Very good, mate. I'm off to John's favourite car boot on Saturday at E-Boot. It's a shoplifting paradise. Yeah, I was thinking about travelling to E-Boot during this, I call it the off-season, because I know they're on. They're on as long as there isn't a volcanic eruption, them lot. I was thinking about trying that. When are you going to do a collaboration with Kaji and his crew? I don't think I am. A new company started up called Relay. Yeah, I've never used them. I keep seeing their options come up on my Vinted. I've turned it off. Like, I don't know who they are, what they are. Maybe they could be Evri killers. Hand Shandy. Good drama and some good trolls. Help my views, no end. Yeah. Right, 35 minutes. I need to go. And I'm not going to go live again now. That was it. It was a nice little catch up with you guys. Yeah. Amongst their problems,